Well, our weed of the week goes by many names, and as you travel around the country, you may hear it called Queen Anne's lace, you may hear it called bird's nest. In our part of the country, we just call it wild carrot. It's a tough biennial weed that you may have on your farm.
Well, the trouble with this particular weed is it is a biennial. It's got a 2-year life cycle. So in the first year, what's going to happen is it's going to be in the rosette stage come fall. It's going to remain low to the ground so it can survive the winter, basically. And in year 2, it'll go into the bolt stage. So it is going to get a little taller. It is going to put seeds on. That's the only way it reproduces is by seed. And you want to make sure you're getting it before it goes to seed, because otherwise you got to control it for the next 20 years.
Yeah, it would be a great idea to get it in the rosette stage if at all possible, because then you aren't worried about it spreading by seed. Now, depending on where you have wild carrot, it's something that can pop up just about anywhere. Sometimes you'll see it out in pastures or ditches. Sometimes it does make it out into fields, whether it's corn, soybeans, or wheat. We've had to kill it in all those crops, so we'll give you a couple of tips on what you can do. In soybeans, Roundup Ready beans are definitely the best, because then Roundup does an excellent job on a biennial weed. A lot of the products like your Flex Stars or Cobra are just going to do some burning on the top growth, and they aren't going to get down deep in the taproot. How about corn?
Well, corn, if it was me, I'd probably go with Status, Distinct, Clarity, something like that, one of the dicamba products. I'm not that concerned about it in corn because we've got a bunch of good options there. In wheat, it does get a little bit more challenging.
Well, there are a few products that are labeled for Queen Anne's lace or wild carrot, whatever you want to call it. Finesse and Glean, Starane Salvo, Starane Sword, they're all labeled. The important thing is just to identify wild carrot out in the field, see which stage it's in, and then make sure you hit it with something hard before it spreads and gets to be a big issue.
Yeah, but fortunately, it's not a big problem in fields. It's usually just in ditches and pastures where 2,4-D will clean it up fine. It's just you're going to want to up your rate of 2,4-D. Instead of the 1 quart per acre of LV6 you might normally use, you might have to bump it to 2 to 3 quarts or switch over to Tordon. Tordon does a good job. Just make sure you keep Tordon away from water and away from trees that you want to save, because Tordon is lethal to fish and trees.
All right, well, our weed of the week again is wild carrot. Get it under control on your farm. That's it for the weed of the week, but there's more Ag PhD to come after this.